What is the big homie? The big homie is more or less my understanding of the universe and everything that is. There's a lot of confusion and deception when it comes to spirituality and religion. Some people use words like God and Elohim and Yeshua, and as much as they're all right, they're also all wrong, and that can be explained through mathematics. I see the universe less for what it is physically and visually, and much more on what it is on a vibration and molecularly, because things are much more deep. So when I think of the universe, I see math and graphs and analytics and things beyond what we can normally see, because my mind doesn't go to a visual like most people. I guess most people, like, they go to the stars and the galaxy and what's beyond that, or planets. Like when people think of heaven, they think of like clouds, and they think of bright lights and things, and angels and softness, because of like things that are depicted. Like whether you read this book or or any of the books, like they all have some sort of like general depiction. There's no like misconception on the understanding of like Jesus at this point, whether or not people believe he was anything special is up for debate, but there is no like discrepancies in whether Jesus existed. And I look at everything in the universe as everything else is, as a cog or a mesh or a machine or a way of working. Like when you understand biology and psychology and the body and neuroscience enough, and how everything works within your body, you understand that things can go wrong sometimes, and they don't like necessarily stay in the order that they should, due to like your decisions or just like aging. And everything can be scaled up and scaled up and scaled up, thus like Earth and then the galaxy and things way beyond. So when I talk about the big homie is everything. I use the word big homie because it's like, it's normally not gonna like mislead people to like a denomination. Like I don't follow any clergy or anything like that. It stays along the lines of something that people can receive and understand, and not be like, oh my gosh, you're a Christian. Like I do wear, it's below all these layers, but I do wear a cross around my neck, and that gets misconceived and people think I'm a Christian. I think I ride more of the lines of like a Quaker, but I follow Judaism more, I believe, but within my own like way. The reason I believe this is because my mother was very, very Christian, but she was involved with some not so good churches, and then I moved with my dad when I was 6, and he's an atheist. So, and he told me I could think whatever I want at a young age. So I gained free thought very, very young, and I created a really good way of being like self-conscious of myself, and the difference between my subconscious and my conscious thoughts, and trying to work very deeply with myself and understanding spirituality and divinity has brought me to the conception and understanding of the big homie. And people are like, why is the world so crazy and all these bad things if the big homie exists, right? But the big homie is our existence. Just like our bodies, when things go wrong, bad things happen, and that's what happens within our Earth and within the solar system. When bad things happen, things go wrong. If you follow a set of rules or guidelines that follow certain religions, I think you can mostly like play it safe when it comes to living a good life. I had a friend tell me one time, if you could follow the 10 Commandments, you'll live a pretty good life, and I think that to be a true thing. There are lots and lots of different things going on in the world when it comes to like religion and media, and I study that a little bit and try to stay up to date, I've noticed a huge interest in like satanic things within the media, like mostly American media, like real hard, which I find to be interesting. And I often question I go and think about this idea as if, like, if you have a car and something's going wrong with your car, right? You need to go to a mechanic and he needs to fix it up and make things better for a while. And that's kind of the idea I have with Jesus, or what Jesus was. Do I believe Jesus and Christianity are like the way? Absolutely not. Because just like the media and everything lies to us, I do not believe that this book can just be 100% true to the way that it was translated. There's absolutely no way that... And this is just a bunch of stories about people, and there can be so many discrepancies, but I do believe that, like, Jesus was the mechanic for Earth for a moment, and things kind of worked. But the mechanic always goes away, and, like, you go back to doing your job, and there's so many things that are unknown in our universe and make no sense. And as we learn more about mathematics and science, we can kind of, like, get a little bit and a little grasp of the fact that our society and no one knows exactly how the pyramids were made or what they were for is a ridiculous matter on how ignorant and stupid we are as people. So I know that there is something much bigger than all of us, and I believe that you can connect with that consciously and subconsciously, but not in a way that's so drastic like some people think. I could go on and like go into branches of religions for hours, but that's like a brief idea and explanation of the big homie. The big homie is everything. And that's pretty cool. I mean, I vibe with it. It's helped me. Like, I found God in a field, like, growing vegetables. A lot of people find it in, like, a church. I found God, like, in that and people. I see divinity and spirituality in, like, love and care from people so much. And I understand that that's an idea that exists without us. If we cease to exist, whether or not people can be kind or people can be evil or people can hurt or love, those things still exist. Some people would argue that, but it did exist, so it is something that is within the mathematics and vibrations of the universe. Like, things don't just stop. They don't just disappear. Everything turns into something else. So yeah, I think the big homie is the best homie. And a lot more people who, like, are atheists and don't believe and understand, like, spirituality need to, like, really look into some stuff, and it might help them. Like, I wrote a weird line for a long time, and most people, like, either stay one way or the other, and there's a completely different way that you don't have to, like, tie yourself down to religion and still be just as lovely and have even more brothers and sisters than you would if you just, like, held yourself down and followed a clergy or something, or followed a church. Big homie's cool.